Hi and welcome to Thete Gaming, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the new General's Handbook, which I think might actually be the best thing they've produced for Age of Sigmar. So little preamble first, I shouldn't really been able to do this. It was on Tuesday, we were filming for what should have been the battle report this Saturday. There's been a monumental cock-up there. There will be a video about it on Saturday. I'll explain more then. But some packages arrived. One of them was for some more foam trays for the models that I'm sort of getting again. And there was another one, which was clearly from Games Workshop. And I thought to myself, I'm not expecting... I have been getting a lot of stuff recently, mostly Drukhari models, because the next thing to be commissioned is going to be Drukhari. And it took me... So many things were out of stock for so long. It's taken me months to actually get all the Drukhari models I wanted for 40k. And so I have been getting quite a few bits, but it's on an even keel now. I was not expecting anything. I'd done my pre-orders for Dominion on that Saturday, and I've said before, was very pleased that they hadn't sold out immediately. That was a good thing. So I was thinking, well, I'm not expecting anything. And the box felt sort of heavy as well, and I thought, I wonder. And sure enough, that's what it was. There has been obviously a cock-up. You can imagine with Games Workshop being really busy at the moment. There are, the reason why they'll have put out Dominion with 2 weeks notice is so that they can get them boxed up and the labels printed out for addresses to have some reasonable chance of getting them delivered on time for the release date. But of course, they're still taking orders for other models and sending them out. Obviously, what's happened is that my box, and maybe a small number of others, ended up in the outgoing pile, and I've ended up getting it nearly 2 weeks early. I'm not complaining, but what it means is I've now been able to have a look through everything properly, the rule books, the match play rules, the General's Handbook, and I'm going to talk today about the General's Handbook. So in terms of the General's Handbook, there are three main parts of it. Of course, the pitch battle profiles will be used to, so these have got the new points values in there. So I've already been working on some new lists based on that. It's also, of course, got the new values for the endless spells, the core endless spells. So that's quite good, nice and handy. You also get a card outlet for some, no markers on it, but that'll be for using for command tokens. Actually, just a little point, because when you pre-ordered Dominion, if you pre-ordered it from Games Workshop themselves, you did get... these, which are intended to be used as command tokens, but quite frankly, there's 6 of them, which isn't necessarily enough for at least 2 players for their command points. I'm just going to use them as objective markers. I think they're quite handy. I like those. But with these card ones, are actually much better for the purpose of command tokens anyway, if you didn't use dice. So there are certain advantages in using tokens. But you've also got the battle tactic cards. I'll talk more about battle tactics in a video next week, I think. But for those who are unaware, they're like secondaries in 40k, but you choose them not for the battle, you choose them for each turn. At the start of each turn, you choose a battle tactic and you get victory points. Or sometimes the battle plan isn't always about victory points, but you get, you increase your chances of winning if you achieve it. And you get to choose what you want. So the cards there are really useful. The really important thing in Age of Sigmar, and indeed 40k, is reference materials during the game. How helpful are the reference materials during the game? Generally speaking, the answer is they're bobbins. They're absolutely rubbish. Got loads and loads of books, and it's not in a clear order. This new General's Handbook is actually really good. I only have one niggling thing that I would have suggested would be improvement. But few features, first of all. Being on a ring binder, at first when I looked at it and I thought, oh, hardback and stuff like that, it didn't need to be hardback for reference material. But actually, being hardback on a ring binder is ideal because you can have it at, say, the battle plan you're using for that game, and you can just have that laid there. Just in point of fact, the first thing you noticed are the tabs. The great thing about this, in Age of Sigmar 2nd edition, they did at some point bring out a small gaming book, a rule book that had all the updated rules in it, the new triumphs and things like that, which was good. Unfortunately, it was almost immediately superseded again, so it was back to lots of books. But it wasn't always easy to find what you want. You would be flicking through it. Oh, what are the rules for garrisons? How I have to flick through it. Oh, what are the rules for this? It wasn't obvious where the rules are. Now, first of all, there's tabs in here. So you've got your pitch battle rules, basically your match play rules. The battle plans in there, endless spells, the core endless spells. You've got the war scroll cards for them in there. The core rules. And then a rules index. The rules index is actually genuinely useful. Whenever I've thought to myself, right, I want to look up this, I've looked it up in the index and it's taken me straight to the right place. So it's not just that there is an index, there is a usable index, actually a very good index. When you want to look up a rule on a particular thing, you will find it. Now, I'll tell you straight away before I talk about some other features where I have a couple of minor criticisms. They are minor criticisms. So the first thing is, this index is only for the core rules. So if there's any other rules like battle tactics, if I look in the index here, I can't see battle tactics mentioned. That is because the battle tactics are in the pitched battle section. So grand strategies there, battle tactics. Again, nice and easy. I mean, in reality, I'll tell you the way I would use this. So if you've got a particular battle plan, I would use this marker to hold it onto that page, and I'd have it on the battle tactics page for the game. So at the start of each turn, you can just look down and go, okay, I'm going to go with that one for this turn. And then when you're getting to the end of the turn, so that's the start of the turn, at the end of the turn when it's right, what are victory points have we scored? You know, you've got your marker in place for these. But yeah, the first one I would say for the index, I'd have included everything, not just the core rules in it for this. The second thing I would have said is, so for a reference point of view, so a lot of you can keep your page on the battle plan. The only thing you would ever need to keep your page in a game is on the battle plan or maybe the battle tactics. The problem is then that the core rules are behind that. So you'd have to remove this to get at the core rules. Whereas I thought, if they'd have actually put the battle plans right at the end, even after the index, that would have been better. But those are minor things. The fact of the matter is, it's a book that's very easy to use in a game itself. And because of the ring binder, you don't have to have it open on a full page spread. Not that you'd ever keep it on a full page thing anyway. You can have it open on one thing in a corner of a battlefield, and that is available for you really easily. You can find what you need in it. It contains everything you need as well. It contains everything you need for the game. And it's very, very easy to navigate. So, I mean, that's what I would have to say about that one, just initially. That I'm going to do now a few more videos before the actual official release date on different aspects of it. But I will just say, see, I remember on this channel, indeed, for quite a long time, it was a channel for my outlet for my main game at the time, World of Warcraft. And I remember in World of Warcraft, when they introduced, people who play MMO games might appreciate this one, area looting. I thought that was the best thing the game's designers ever introduced to the game. Even years later, after years of other things that had improved, I still thought AoE looting is the single best feature they ever introduced in that game. It is the single best feature in any MMO. This is the single best feature I think Games Workshop have ever produced for any of the games I've ever played from them. Because what you have is something that you can use in a game, and they're very bad at producing things that are useful in a game. In Warhammer Fantasy Battle, they did used to produce a double-sided card to help you through the sequence, which was a very good feature, not as good as this. And indeed, there is a bit of a reference on the back, and it could do with that as well. If I was again to suggest an improvement, the double-sided card for helping you through the sequence would be good. But as something you can use in-game without taking up a lot of time, this is good. And as long as you remember because the index won't help you with that, what features are in the pitched battle section, because it's a small section, you just have to remember that if you want your realm rules, they're in there. If you want your anything other than that is going to be when you design your list anyway. When you design your list, you don't need it to be at your fingertips. But in terms of in the games, your realm rules are in there, your battle tactics and your grand strategies are in there. Although the grand strategies, the implication is that you choose that before you go as well. And a scoring sheet. which you can copy. As long as you remember what's in that front section, the rest of it is so easy to find with the tabs and the index as well. It is the single best resource they have produced. And on the bottom, because I thought to myself, so, okay, it's great now at the start of it. When they start changing things, it's going to quickly go out of date. And this will be useful for some rules, and then there'll be FAQs and stuff like that, which I sort of think is the case. What's given me a little bit of hope is at the bottom it says Pitch Battles 2021. The implication being that next year they'll bring out the same thing with the updates. Just as accessible, hardback, ring binder, tabs, the same thing with the updates. And so at least each summer we'll be able to restart with one reference book again. I hope that's the case. But at the start of it, this is going to be incredibly useful. But those are my thoughts on it. Anyway, let me know yours in the comments below. If you want me to do videos on particular aspects of the game over the next week, please say so. I've got a couple in mind, but I think I may have a chance to do a few. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for further content. And until next time, I'll see you later.